back on assignment. This is a travel photography gig in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. I have been hired by a group of German travel consultants to help get some awesome photos of them over the next 2 days in what is a pretty cool indoor space here, and as well as exploring the city. And it all starts right now. Let's go. And we are outside. We got the bikes, classic Netherlands, going on a cycling tour of Amsterdam, which is very difficult for me as a videographer holding a gimbal. And then I've got the Peak Design clip here with the Sony a7R5 and a Canon lens. Still shooting with my Canon EF setup. But yeah, it's gonna be a really exciting time to explore Amsterdam by bike, get some new photos. And what I wanted to talk about real quick in this video is that we got married last Saturday. I know a lot of you guys know that. And we haven't been able to share a lot of the photos yet. So I'm hoping by the time I put this video online, I'll be able to put some photos in this video. So if that's the case, here are some photos from our wedding. It was a fantastic day. We got married on a Saturday just north of Hamburg in Schleswig-Holstein. Beautiful weather, beautiful group of people. There were 66 in total. The ceremony was absolutely perfect. We exchanged vows to one another. I held a speech, which was very emotional, and it was just a perfect day overall. So really, really excited to be married and to move on to that next chapter in our lives with me and Nelly and little Mateo Jack. So that's exciting. I hope you enjoy some of those photos. And now we're gonna continue to explore Amsterdam. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about this job because I'm back on assignment with travel photography and videography. This is a building called the Valley, and it is a very good example of sort of modern infrastructure design, for lack of a better term, but this is quite the piece of art here, this building. It's actually split into 3 sections. See if the focus was working, come on back down. And the architectural design is incredible, really, really beautiful building. And this is a good example of sort of the future of green infrastructure. And a big part of why we're visiting here is because Realizing Progress, which is the name of the consultancy group that's hired me, has sort of developed their role within the market and the industry as being able to work with regions and DMOs and local governments to try and create a sustainable future, and therefore realizing the progress of what we can do as a society within the realm of green energy and a sustainable future. So a big part of that is visiting examples that have already been done and learning from those examples on what they've done that works or how things can possibly be done even better. And this building Valley in Amsterdam is the first example that they're visiting. So Realizing Progress is quite the inspirational group. I've been working with these guys for about 5 years now. They used to be called Tourismus Zukunft, which means the future of tourism in German. And they worked primarily in the travel and tourism industry, which is how I got the contact and got the job in the first place. But they've rebranded in the last year to be more towards realizing progress as a whole. It's still working with governments as their main target and DMOs, but utilizing their skills and knowledge as a combined group to try and focus on more things outside of only tourism. So even though this is essentially a travel photography job where I've been hired to capture them in the wild, as they say here, in the field, looking at examples of really inspiring urban architecture. And this is a great place to start. And for me as a photographer, this is an absolute paradise. There is a lot to photograph here. So our journey around Amsterdam continues. Good test for the DJI mic here with this wind, riding the bike. Got Anna, say hi. Woo woo! Cycling through Amsterdam on a beautiful summer day. Couldn't ask for much better than this. Got kids in the background. General public loves the vlog as per usual. But yeah, this is really cool. We're going through sort of like South Amsterdam, through the financial district. Beautiful buildings here. And again, a really good example of like urban architecture and city planning and sort of changing the game when it comes to the future of infrastructure. And I personally think that's really cool. So a nice little twist to the travel photography stuff that I'm used to is realizing progress, as they say. Good afternoon and welcome to NDSM. This is a cultural kind of area just north of Amsterdam. You have to take a ferry to get here. It's a free ferry, by the way, which is really, really nice. And once you're here, this is a big old industrial kind of factory area, and it's been turned into a space for the arts and for studios and for other smaller factories, sort of artisans, hand workers can all work and experience whatever it is their craft is here and show it off to the public as well. And then of course on top of that, you got cafes and restaurants and just beautiful graffiti as well, which is kind of a big part of why we're here, because the Realizing Progress team has rebranded, as I said earlier in this video, and we want to try and get a lot of new photos of sort of these bright colors and this amazing art, and utilize those photos to help them strengthen their own presentations, their own portfolios, social media, whatnot. And they have a whole bunch of concepts in mind. But I have a whole shot list here of all the things that we want to try and capture in the form of an image, and they will then use those again to support their own presentations to their clients. So a lot of this has to do with architecture, progressive mindset and thinking, art, creativity, spontaneity, and yet at the same time planning and structure and being able to understand what it is that you're trying to do, finding that balance, which is all things that I absolutely love. So it's been quite fun getting a whole bunch of different really creative photos here at NDSM. And we're gonna continue to explore on our day out in Amsterdam, because coming up next is a boat trip going on the water, finally. And I think it's gonna be a beautiful sunset with weather like this.
pizza. Oh, you guys got the best seats in the house, huh?
And this is the classic Amsterdam that I'm sure you are all expecting at the beginning of this video, but we finally made it onto the water on one of the canals, and we've rented this boat, sort of a long, shallow type boat for the 3.5 hours to cover sunset. And it's not as photogenic as I was hoping, so it's gonna be relatively difficult to get some good shots of the crew, but we've had such a busy 2 days here in Amsterdam that everybody's really content and happy with the content that we've been able to capture so far, which is a very common theme with this group realizing progress. They really like the work that I do, and I'm happy to work hard and get a lot of good photos for them in a short amount of time. It's kind of like the travel and tourism version of wedding photography, taking like 2,000 snaps in a day and being able to create a selection of maybe 100, 150 that they can be happy with, that they'll use to market their services throughout the next year at least. So very cool experience here in Amsterdam. And as the boat journey continues, I want to share a little bit more of the B-roll and some of the photos from this experience, but I also want to say goodbye because this video is getting a little bit long. And the next one I will be reunited with Nelly and Mateo, my new wife Nelly, by the way, which is awesome, in Mallorca in Spain, where we're doing kind of a mini honeymoon with a lot of my family who came all the way from Canada, and they are on vacation currently, and I cannot wait to join them. It's gonna be fantastic. So I'll see you in Mallorca, Spain in the next video. Bye.